All right. Now, another thing, Darius, that you did a great job. You did most of the uh, picking as far as like topics for today. The trailer for the upcoming HBO Max series Tokyo Vice was released this past week, and it follows a Western journalist as he investigates a powerful Tokyo crime boss. And I'm gonna be honest, this looks really cool. This looks really, really cool. I love the stakes that are at play here. I love the idea of, because we've seen the whole thing as far as like, journalists getting comfortable with nefarious figures to write a good story, right? But there's something that feels different about this. I like the mix of martial arts and organized crime and corruption.
Yes.
I love all the stakes that seem to be at play here. So honestly, this looks really cool so far.
Same here. Like, I think the big thing for me that drew me was honestly the title, Tokyo Vice. The fact that I saw Tokyo, I was like, oh, we're in Japan. Awesome. I'm in. I like Japanese. I want to, like, one of the places in the world I want to go to is, I honestly, Japan. And even Japanese mythology. I love all of that. And so when I heard, as I'm watching the trailer and the idea of this reporter going into a place like Japan to tell a story, and he's mixing in with like the underground, the crime lords, and even the yakuza, and all of that just interested me. And for me, again, as a martial arts fan as well, seeing a dojo and martial arts, it's like, this seems pretty cool, and I'm in. This is more interesting than I thought I would be for a show like this. That's the other thing too.
Yeah, there's something. It's weird that there's something that feels like kind of elevated about a show like this. There's something that feels almost kind of cinematic about this too. The tone feels, again, we're just going off of speculation based on a trailer, but the tone of this feels very chilling. And another thing that I think this seems to have going for it so far is the casting. Ken Watanabe has always been very interesting. He definitely has a sort of commanding presence. But the other main cast member is Ansel Elgort, right? And there are just a couple questions that I have with him. I wonder how the show was going to do with certain like misconduct allegations against him too. So like, will as many people be willing to watch the show? Because like, I don't know if anything was ever proven or anything like that, but a lot of times when that's thrown at you, like that sticks. Let's be real, whether it ends up being true or not.
Exactly.
And another question I have too is, can Ansel Elgort hold his own against someone like Ken Watanabe?
Yeah, that I think one of the big things with the show is also, as you just said, is seeing that dynamic at play. Is he going to hold himself up for this? And a part of me actually thinks he can. I don't know. I think he can. Obviously, Ken Watanabe has been around much longer, and he's just a great actor overall. But I think Ansel Elgort is going to introduce a new level. And again, this is also really a perspective of a different ethnicity and a perspective of a journalist compared to Ken Watanabe's character. And I think that in itself is going to add more value to the dynamic between the two and throughout the other cast members and the other aspects of the show. So, and again, that's why I'm excited about it, because it's like, how is he going to react to this person, a Yakuza member, this and that, and people doing martial arts that maybe he's not that adept at just yet, or maybe he's training, that sort of thing. So I'm interested. I'm really stoked for this show.
I'm interested too, and I just hope that Ansel Elgort can hold himself against someone like Ken Watanabe, again, someone who has such a, like I said, like a big, and like I said before, commanding presence about him. Because you have to believe the conflict too. Like, everyone loves a David and Goliath story, right? But the conflict has to make sense. You have to be able to believe the fact that, oh, this person can stand a chance against this other person. There has to be something inside both of them that puts them both on like the same playing field, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Not so much same. Yeah, I don't know about like, same play, not like the same status, but like there has to be something in each character that you're like, you know what, this person tangling with this other person makes sense. Like one of my favorite things when it comes to this, my favorite example is The Lion King, right? Like the conflict between James Earl Jones as Mufasa and Jeremy Irons as Scar. Like those two characters, excuse me, and those two, I guess, voice actors having a sort of conflict with each other, it makes sense. Like there's a certain gravitas that both voice actors and characters have to both of them. Mm-hmm. And when the 2019 CGI version came out of The Lion King, the casting was announced for that. James Earl Jones was back as Mufasa. Okay, great, commanding, intimidating presence, big presence, gravitas. Then you had Chiwetel Ejiofor as Scar. And I'm like, okay, like Chiwetel Ejiofor is a great actor, but does he have the same gravitas as James Earl Jones? And will he be able to bring that to Scar? And I'm going to be honest with that, I was skeptical at first, but he ended up doing a better job than I thought. Still not the same as the original, but still. So that's like one of the only concerns that I have with this Tokyo Vice series. But other than that, it looks really cool. Like I will honestly be looking forward to checking this out.
Yep, same here. I'm very much interested, very excited. And again, I want to go to Japan, so it's like this is the closest thing I'll get.
Yeah, I was gonna say the cost of that plane ticket's not going down anytime soon. So you know what? I'll settle for this.
Exactly.
All right, so this premieres on HBO Max on April 7th, and are any of you actually going to check this out? Did you get a chance to watch the trailer? Highly recommend that you check it out. Leave your thoughts in the comments section.